on the Drip Podcast.
G'day, champ. I was looking for some winners.
Sure thing. Please hold.
Moses won the 10,000 from Powlele.
Away goes Anima on the Rosehill Guinea.
But Home Affairs has made a mess of them.
Coming through is Fireburn with a big run off the fence. I'm thunderstruck, went boom over the top. Nature Strip clings on. He's king of the mountain this time.
Thanks for waiting. No guarantees, but we'll see what we can do.
Sounds about right.
Mate, let's not muck around here. It's silly season. We have a lot of things on our plate.
I just said to you, mate, I am busy. I'm a busy boy. Busier than a one-armed, you know what.
In these current times, that's well played by you.
Building a stadium in Qatar in preparation for the Soccer World Cup. Oh, jeez. The stories out of there are
How much for
actually genuinely alarming.
How much is it for like a pie and a beer?
Mate, way too much.
Yeah.
Once it gets past, like, I don't know, let's call it $20 for a schooner of gold, and similar price for like a pie or just like basic stadium food. Once it starts getting past that price,
come on, what are we doing?
It's irrelevant, mate, how much it costs because it's too fucking much.
Yeah, $50 for a beer. Come on, please. I'd be outraged with those prices. Big John would be furious.
Big John.
Shout out to Big John and shout out to TikTok for, getting us to our first 100K view video. It's basically Jonesy reacting to a random TikTok, which I'm going to bring back this week as well because, people were loving your reaction.
Yeah, which is bizarre because, like, I feel like my reaction was not anything spectacular. It wasn't overplayed. And nor was it understated. The reaction was the reaction. It was genuine. Big John has a lot on his plate, just like we do. Silly season, full swing. I was just talking to you about the fact that, lots on at work, but then, there's a lot of clients, there's a lot of things going on where they're like, you know what, Christmas is in sight.
Yeah.
And it's been a busy year for everyone. So I feel like the silly season has probably started a couple of weeks earlier.
Yes. So if I'm looking at our metaphorical plate of Chinese that Big John's played it up for us.
Yeah.
Like we have silly season on one side. We have last week's racing on the other that we have to cover. We have this week's TikTok. We have Big John in the back of our minds as well. And I also have just a general chit chat about your daily routine, which I want to bring to you as well. But
okay. I'm excited.
Mate. All right.
Like we've said multiple times on the podcast, the brains, the beauty.
Yeah.
Or the brawn. Fuck yeah.
You're jacked, bruh.
I'm so jacked.
You're so jacked. Amelia's Jewel and Tricks of the Trade. Thoughts? We are a horse racing podcast after all,
That's
so let's start with that.
Mate, AJ was best of the day and she got the JD. She'll start rightful favourite, you would imagine, of the Northerly Stakes. And it's hers for the taking. Cascadian's the obvious danger. But she's got the ability, mate. I thought she was great. Tricks of the Trade. Didn't realise what a lovely story there was behind that horse. Well done for finding it at what, fives?
Him?
Yeah, him. Yep.
Yeah.
Gelding.
I think. I believe. But please tell us about the story.
So the trainer is in his 70s or 80s and the owners are in their 90s. And it's a relatively new association for the owners and the trainer. But yeah, lovely story. So the trainer, his son works for him as like the stable foreman. His grandson works for him. Hasn't won a Group 1 before. I think won the WA Oaks or something like that years and years ago and claims that was almost like winning a Group 1. So yeah, terrific story. I don't know how much the horse cost or anything like that, but the name of the trainer, if you can just jog my memory.
Colin Webster.
Yeah, terrific story, mate. So it was a pretty good win too.
Mate, put him away easy. But I was having a charcuterie board with Prue at the time, and I was like, look, Dale, I have a 2-leg multi, and it's a Group 1, so I'm always going to watch the Group 1. And during the run, I was like, this could not be going any better. I don't want to be on any other pony in the race, and he absolutely put him away.
Yeah.
Never in doubt.
Yeah, it's an easy watch. Like this charcuterie board is delicious. Love and look, as you know, I appreciate every second that we get to spend together. But also, there's a fucking race on, so hold your horses.
Well, yeah, it's exactly what happened.
Also, get me in front of a screen right now, showing the horses, or else. Yeah, no, I'll happily go to that wedding that your numbnuts cousin has booked on one of the biggest race days of the year. Happily. But I'm also going to be that antisocial, decrepit human being who on my table is going to have his phone up with the races on.
Yeah. Mate, it happened to us last year. AFL Grand Final day. We were at a wedding. So what the fuck do you mean we're at a wedding? It's like, you know what's going to happen. She's like, no, this is not happening. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Why? It would have been worse if the Lions made it, but they're not that good yet. Mate, this is what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
What is your typical routine for brushing your teeth? So you get up in the morning.
Yeah.
Talk me through it.
Yeah, get up in the morning. You know, I think I'll pretty much get ready, and before I do, like, you know, quick sort of moisturizer of the face, and you know, like style the hair and what have you. The first thing on my list, I'm fully dressed. The first thing on my list is brush the peggies.
So we're talking like you don't have breakfast, but it's pretty much before you're out the door.
Yeah, I don't eat breakfast. I don't have a coffee until I get to work.
Okay.
So I pretty much, you know, wake up, shower, get dressed, all that sort of jazz. Peggy's brushed, and go from there.
Okay. All right.
Why is that, mate?
Mate, I was listening to a podcast the other day. Just their back catalogue, Two Bears, One Cave. Tom Segura.
Very funny man.
Bert Kreischer.
Two very funny men.
Mate. They were talking about this, and Tom was going like, oh, I brush my teeth immediately as I get up. I'm like, oh, I don't think I know anyone that's done that.
Like, as in first port of call.
Yeah, like
wait before you do a wee.
Wake up, take a piss, bang.
Yeah.
Brushing his teeth. I'm like, that's odd. And then Bert, in rebuttal, he was like, not only do I wash my teeth every 3 days, but I wash it with soap. What do you mean?
So let me just clarify firstly. So you said wash his teeth.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't call that a brush. Just like you wash your nutsack and your pits with soap.
I'm thinking like
where the soap, as in like the soap bar of soap that you use to wash your body, like hand soap.
I reckon it's the hand soap that he's washing with.
Surely he's taking the piss.
No.
Has to be.
No, mate. Have you listened to this guy?
I have, but surely.
One of the like most disgusting human beings on this earth. And he admits that. He thinks he's disgusting as well.
That's repulsive.
I know. But I was thinking this as well. Like, have you ever worked with someone or been in close vicinity of someone that just has horrific breath?
Oh, plenty of times throughout my life.
Like, where do you think the worst is? I think it's someone that you sit next to or work in very close vicinity at your workplace.
Someone you can't get away from. Look, I haven't been I haven't been in a situation in my life where I'm like, fuck, this person has terrible breath and I have to speak to them every day. Like, I come across people who've got bad breath, but yeah, like not super noticeable. The thing that gets me is people who like eat very loudly, like within my vicinity. It's just like
our old housemate would have driven you nuts then.
Yeah, but like you know, Axe was Axe, and he did it in. And so I was prone to that, and I was within that vicinity for like a short period of time every day. Whereas like I used to work with someone who sat opposite me for a time and sat next to me for a time, who literally just like when they were chewing gum, it was like a piranha gnawing off a femur bone. It's just like, mate, just put them away.
Yeah, come on, close your chops.
Yeah. So, have you got a bad story about bad breath?
Oh, just there's one.
Just hate it. One of the few things, like one of the things you just despise.
Oh, mate, I was literally about this person. So it's not my current workplace. Everyone there has minty fresh breath.
Yeah, everyone who I work with currently, brilliant.
Yeah, but this person, who will remain very nameless, Mate, I was actually Googling like how to tell someone that they have horrific stanky breath.
How
do you do it?
I've had to tell someone before that they've got bad BO.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I used to work with them when I was working in a bar, and it was just lingered around the whole bar. It was just like, mate, you need to wash them pits specifically, and you need to get some not sponsors, but maybe it could be some Rexona, like antiperspirant, like 48 hour, not like Lynx Africa or Lynx chocolate, like something that smells good is like it smells good. That's a debatable thing to say. Something antiperspirant to stop you from perspiring too much. Look, the way I approached that conversation was you just fucking tell them, mate, sorry, mate, you've got really bad breath. And if their feelings get hurt, it's just like, okay, firstly, don't be such a victim. I'm helping you out. I'm helping you out.
Mate, it's a long time ago now. So,
yeah, you're past it now. You're traumatized, clearly.
Well, they're probably just stinking up their new workplace. I'll tell you who it is after. All right. TikTok that I wanted to show you this week.
Right.
When I say ASMR, what does your mind go to?
I don't know what ASMR stands for, but I know it's like, people like making sounds really close to the mic, and it's supposed to be relaxing. I personally wouldn't be able to stand it, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. I have an ASMR video to show you. So basically, when I think of ASMR, I think of people basically whispering into the microphone.
Yeah.
And then they're going to listen to this bite, and then they crunch into something really crunchy. Yeah. I have another ASMR video to show you, and I think you're going to like it.
Okay. The ears, what the fuck? Is it weird that I'm horny? Is this guy dead? Is that why he has his eyes closed? He's just dead. He's on a dead body. Oh. What is going on?
I was thinking, you look a bit stressed, mate. It is silly season. Could I get you a head massage?
I'm simultaneously very relaxed and stressed.
You know what my favourite element of that video was? The gentleman who was giving him the massage, his eyes.
Mate.
They're popping out of his bloody head. He was so excited.
Old mate was on crack cocaine. An old mate who was doing it on was on heroin because he was just a very, very relaxed man. He was just copping it left, right and centre. I'm surprised he's not Dumbo after that with his bloody ears out like that.
So ASMR massages, yay or nay?
I'm gonna give it a strong yay because that was funny.
Yeah, okay.
If anyone ever tried to do that on me though, that'd be armless. Not that I'm,
armless.
What am I going to do to someone
without arms?
Hey, do you want me to speak to him? I'll sort it out. Least intimidating person on planet Earth.
So let me get up this video. Shout out to ASMR relaxing massage. Shout out to you. I think that video has 800,000 likes. I think it's about 18 million views. So
what's like the level above viral?
Like household name, I'd say.
Okay.
What do you reckon?
I'd say pandemic. That video is going to pandemic levels.
I don't think it's.
Is it too soon to say the word pandemic?
I don't think it's quite there yet. I think it's at like your C grade celeb level.
Hey, well, a lot of people alive today lost their pandemic virginity in the last few years. A lot of us were pandemic virgins, and we all got fucked simultaneously.
Yeah, and sometimes that's great.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Should we talk some Group 1 horse racing?
Yeah, I feel like we probably should talk about horse racing at some point on this podcast.
Mate, we have, is it the Winterbottom this weekend?
Yeah.
Group 1 sprint, 1,200 metres, and you about half the field, maybe 30% of it, are Eastern Raiders coming across, mate. Now, the more favoured runners from the Western Australian runners is Elite Street, who won the race 2 years ago. I think he might have finished third last year. Where did you land here?
Oh, mate, this was tricky. I like Paul Ailey a lot, just in general. I feel like since his win in the Shalaki, which I was
Scalacci.
Shalaki. In the Scalacci, awesome. And from there, I was like, that's my Manicato horse. Look, he wasn't going to beat Bella Nipotina that day. We've said it before on the podcast, but he was disappointing. And then I was sort of hoping for him to come out in the Darley Champions Sprint. I didn't think he was going to win that. He didn't do particularly well. Maybe he's not just a straight horse. Would I be insane to back him again here when he's drawn the car park? Potentially. I potentially would. You're getting some good odds with him, though. $10 with Neds. But I'm a bit concerned about Paul Ailey. I feel like they're like the Manicatos, the Group 1 we're going to get for him to tick off his CV because he's still got his nuts. And we'll add him to the Darley roster. I'm like, okay, that failed. Let's just have a throw at the stumps down the straight. Okay, that was very disappointing. Let's bring him across to Perth. Would he be here if he won the Manicato?
Probably not.
Exactly. So, bit of a concern for me for Paul Ailey. Just don't know. Stablemate Valana, why are they running him against Paul Ailey? Because they're like, no, he needs to win a Group 1 as well. And he's in some serious form. He's got a bit of a weird sort of prep. Started off over 1,300 metres, was great there. Golden Eagle, disappointing. The Hunter was great. Is he more of a 1,400 metre horse? He was my Stradbroke horse, remember? Geez, that's red hot form, Stradbroke form.
It is, isn't it?
He can win this. Draws a little bit sticky. J Carr, finer spot. Midfield, bit forward of midfield. Looks to be pace on. He can win this. He's a red hot favourite in my mind. What's Rothfire done wrong this prep?
He's done absolutely nothing wrong.
Done nothing wrong.
I was a little bit surprised to see him come up favourite.
Yeah, I can see why. Yeah. But then you look through his prep and you're like, okay, so the big fella won first up at the Valley. The Maya, you could argue, is a little bit trapped for a run, Bella Nipotina. Second in the Manicato, again, nothing was beating Bella Nipotina that day. He finished 8th in the Darley Champions Sprint. He's a length off him.
Yes.
It's pretty good form for this, in my opinion. Draws a great gate. Ollie, take him going forward. He's got to be in the final 3 or 4, you'd think, over the finish line. The first 3 or 4 over the finish line. That's where I'm sort of looking. But then I was like, okay, I've got to look at the WA form, at least a little bit. And the two for me in WA are Miss Kentucky and This Will Test You. Miss Kentucky has been terrific up until last start, but she finished 14th of. She was in the field 14th of 14 or something like that. And then she started to really sort of come home. Step up to 1,200 metres will be great for her. And This Will Test You ran a huge rating last start. Both were lightly weighted last start. And you got Stageman, who was carrying top weight, finished like 4th. So, mate, I've tried to dissect a Rubik's Cube before in racing, and it hasn't worked the vast majority of the time. Can you please shed some light on all the bullshit I was just talking about and let me know where you're leaning? Somebody help me, I'm stuck.
There's one horse that spends half his time, he does a 6-month internship in Melbourne, and he runs against all these horses, or pretty much close to it, and then he fucks off back home to WA, and he always runs better in WA, and that's number 7, Red Cam Man. He's the one I'm taking the form references between. If I'm running Red Cam Man in a champion sprint, do I think he gets within a length of Rockin' Horse and Nature Strip? No fucking chance. Not a chance in hell. Now, he beat home Elite Street last start, I believe. He certainly did. Mate, I can't possibly have any of the locals here. I'm going for the for the tried and tested form of the Victorians. Valana, I'm happy to risk. As you outlined, I think he's better out to 1,400 metres. Pulele, not one of mine. Just hard to catch. Extremely hard to catch.
Yeah, I've had some pretty good luck with Paul Ailey, but in the Group 1 races, he seems to find one better at the very least. And we saw that in the Kingston Smith and the Dooman 10,000. Mm-hmm. They were the Group 1s that he needed to win.
Yes. Mate, the two horses for me that you have to look at and play around are number 1, Rothfire, and number 5, the Astrologist. You have to. Like, both of them are drawn perfectly. Pikey knows Ascot better than anyone, and he's been horrifically out of form. All the yarn is going, oh, Pikey's lost it. He hasn't lost it.
Nah, of course he hasn't.
Come on. He's just a little bit out of form.
Billy Pike.
Mate, look at the Astrologist's form, right? He's been beaten less than a length in the Champions Sprint. He was beaten less than 3 lengths against Private Eye. He's basically just been running in Group 1 races his last 5 or 6 starts. The knock on him is that he hasn't won for 67 weeks, but he's been racing against arguably our strongest horses. Not the strongest horses here.
Nah.
Like,
God, no.
I'm between Rothfire and the Astrologist. Rothfire's the better horse. But at the price, I'm thinking I'm going to go the Astrologist, which if you had told me that a week ago, I'd be laughing in your face. But mate, he's been fantastic, and maybe he's better suited when he is down the Flemington Straight. Sure, and Rothfire, you could probably bonus him because I don't think he might have handled the Flemington Straight. But you know what? Why not? The Astrologist, Leon Troy Corstons, bang. Let's see.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm probably leaning more towards Valana over Rothfire. Rothy gets the sweet run easy. I can just see him parking up in the top 3 and then just being strong to the line because he's a tough horse. Valana for me, yeah, he's coming back in trip and it's a bit weird, but he just seems the horse to me who's got the more upward trajectory. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. How many times has Godolphin sent something to the winner bottom and they haven't got the chockies? Like, unlike them, have enough throw at the stumps. If Glenn Maxwell throws the ball at the stumps enough times, he's going to hit him, right?
Yes.
If Godolphin does, you think they'd hit him. So, yeah, Valana for me. Jay Carr on board is a huge tick as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, drifters, I could change. Do I sound like I'm confident? Like, if you're following my tips based on what I just said, just go jog on.
Come on, man.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's a tough race. So Rothfire or the Astrologist for me, leaning towards the Astrologist just at a better price. So be it. Mate, any bets for the weekend?
Mate, I've just got my best bet.
I've got one bet. I wouldn't call it a best bet. 2 bets in the one race. And that is at Rose Hill, race 9, number 6, Najmati. Should get a good track here. She was one of the horses of the one of the mares, I might say, of the Queensland Carnival. Mate, got beaten by Pelisipan in her last start, and she has come out and been so consistent in Sydney and Melbourne. So the other horse I'm very interested to see back, and I'm probably going to have a quinella between the two, is number 1, Bruckner.
That was a horse I was going to mention. Bruckner hasn't been seen since he ran second to Home Affairs in the Coolmore.
Mm-hmm. So extremely keen to see how he's going. He's got a stallion chain first time, which you love to see. So he's still got his nuts, the big fella. But 56 weeks, would have to look into why he's had such a long layoff. But we'll see.
We will see. So best of the day for me, and this is just a tried and true recipe, drifters. If you're playing over in the wild, wild west, Pikey knows what he's doing over there. Bob Peters hasn't had a great carnival so far, nor has he had a great spring carnival. But he's got a horse, race 7, Ascot, number 14, Pure Devotion, who I reckon gets the chockies. $2.30 with Neds at the moment. Geez, you love to see Pikey in those silks.
You do, don't you? It just makes it. There's death taxes and piking in the Cerise and White.
100%. She's had a gap between runs when she was resuming. I thought she was pretty good over 1,800 metres. Last start, finishing 4th. She gets out to 2,100 metres here, and I think she'll probably start favourite in the Perth Cup as well because she'll spank him here. So, yeah, pure devotion for me.
There you go. You heard it here first.
There you go.
That's our thoughts on this weekend's racing at Ascot. Mate, you know, it's a nice carnival.
It's great. It's good. The good thing is as well, like, what I like about the Ascot Carnival is, you know, it's a Saturday afternoon and, you know, you've had a few bets, you know, you're having a couple of quiet ones. You're in silly season and then, you know, it's 6:30 and you still got racing on.
Yeah, it's bloody good stuff.
It's just good. You know, that's their point of difference, you know. Summertime, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas there's another state whose racing just feels like it's been forced upon us before the real action starts in the Winter Carnival up here in Brisbane. So, you know, Ascot, it's got a well-deserved place on the calendar. God bless them.
Couldn't agree more. All right. Well, if you're having a play, do it with Neds, do it responsibly, but we'll see you next week for what I think is the last episode of the season. So, yeah, good stuff.
Good luck and God bless.
Hooroo.